Welcome back to the channel. This is Baby Reen, my name is Richie, and this is Aisling, and we are an Irish family currently travelling around Europe with our 2 dogs. Happy? And...
Sophia.
In this episode, you're going to find out whether we got the van fixed, and also you'll get to see some of the magical support that we've had from people that have just come out to help us on our journey. So we're currently in Switzerland and we are in a place called Hinwil. We have been here for over 2 weeks now because our van broke down as soon as we arrived here, and we were waiting for the part to arrive. So they fixed the starter in the engine, but then there was an issue with the coolant disappearing. So the mechanic said that he wasn't sure whether the part that he fixed actually was the right part to fix, and he said the only way to determine that was for us to drive the van further.
I had to play 2 gigs in Germany, so I decided to drive the van to Zurich. The next morning, Wednesday morning, I drove the camper to the main train station in Zurich. I parked the camper van outside the main train station, and then I made my way to the train, where I then travelled to Germany to play 2 gigs in Göttingen and Kassel. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to take Aisling or Rian with me, and they had to stay in Switzerland. I got the return train back to Zurich on Friday morning, and I was praying that the part that the mechanic had replaced would indeed have solved the issue with the disappearing coolant. So I've just checked the coolant after returning from Germany, and it has remained in place. So it stayed at the max, which is a very good sign. So fingers crossed that it's going to stay there. It means that when I drove it from Hinwil 2 days ago, which was a half an hour away, and then the engine cooled down, that I haven't lost any coolant. So that's a good sign. So far, so good. But we still need to test it for the next few days just to double check and to make sure that the part that was replaced is the part that's causing the issue. So we have arrived back from Germany to Switzerland. Let's see what Rian says.
Hi, Sophia. How are you?
I think we'll get stuck in since we're here. So we're going to begin, as always, my loves.
Sophia,
Got a note.
Can you whisper? Sophia getting a haircut? Oh, Sophia, you're going to be so pretty. Go drive the car, Rian. Oh, Sophia, you look amazing after your haircuts. Oh, wow. Look at you. Don't you look gorgeous? Oh, you look so beautiful, Sophia, after your haircut. So after I arrived back from Hinwil, the next morning, I checked the coolant in the van, and it had dropped slightly, but then when I released the cap on the accumulator, the coolant rose back up, so there was pressure in the accumulator and it rose back up to the maximum level. And then we drove it yesterday evening, about 40 minutes drive to visit some people, and then this morning I checked it again, and Green's having a look. What do you think, Green? What's your diagnosis?
What do you think, Mimi?
So now this morning when I came out and I looked at the coolant, it had dropped down to minimum. Then when I released the cap on the accumulator, nothing happened, and the coolant stayed at the same level. So that means that the coolant that has now disappeared from there is somewhere now inside the engine. That means it's looking more like the head gasket, which is a very big job, and that's why we've got to get it out of Switzerland and to Germany on Tuesday.
An Irish lady reached out to Richie over Instagram because she saw that we were in Germany and we were having van issues, and she wanted to help, so we ended up going to her place. We drove there in the van and got and back, but now we can't drive in the van, so they've actually offered to come and collect us, and we're going to go hiking and they're going to make us dinner. So very exciting, and it's a beautiful day here, so great to get out into the lovely sunshine of Switzerland.
We were unable to drive the van to Carol and Steve's house, so they kindly offered to pick us up, and they drove us to a beautiful location called Santis. It's one of the highest peaks in Switzerland, and you can see 5 different countries from the top, which you can reach by cable car. After the trek, Carl and Steve treated us to a traditional Swiss cuisine called raclette, a perfect way to spend our Easter Monday and raise our spirits for the journey ahead. I've got baby Reen on my back. Say hi, Reen. So we have Willow, Whiskey, and Willow's from Saudi Arabia, and Whiskey's from Dubai, is it?
No, Saudi. They're brother
Two.
and sister.
Oh, brother and sister.
Yeah, Dubai. Snowy was from Dubai.
So we've got 2 dogs that are brother and sister from Dubai.
Saudi,
sorry. And Reen is
feeding
on the boob. Go on, Sophia. Go on, Sophia. Where are the rabbits, Sophia? Sophia, get the rabbits. Come on.
Ready, go! No, she says back in.
Happy wins by a mile. Yeah, should we go again? Should we go again?
Reen's enjoying the walk, and he's got a bit of snow in his paw. Good boy, Reen. Do you love the snow? Reen's playing with a bit of snow. Oh, Reen, I think it's after falling into him. And he can't get it out. The snow. Take it out there.
It's only a tiny bit.
Oh, there's a whole lump of it.
I don't see any.
Oh, there's a lump gone down. It must be down inside.
Oh, I see
In
it.
the front of him, yeah.
It's gone. It's gone.
Did you get it? Just to play with. Reen, what do you think? Let's go.
I'll leave it there. You can use that one. That's fine.
Where do you hit here?
We'll leave here.
You can't grill any other vegetables or stuff in it?
You can? She can actually. Let me put one down for her. Yeah. Yeah, here's 2. Put one down. That one. They're all cleaned anyway. That one down. That's it. Yeah, there we go.
So we suggest you go to the
She wants a bit space this side, isn't it? Yeah.
Which way? Is there?
What would you like?
I would
Yeah.
suggest you go there on the
Yeah.
grounds that that's mostly
Yeah, more space here.
more space and then lots of veggie stuff.
Oh, just look. Here we have the potatoes. And this is the local cheeses for the raclette. I'm going to put them in here. And then you've got onions. So you've got different kinds of onions, mushrooms that we can fry up on here. And then we've got more of the baby onions, baby sweet corn, olives, salad, peppers, celery and asparagus.
So this is how you do, what's it called?
Raclette.
Raclette. So what you do is you get your onion, you sprinkle it on the raclette plate, just make it up. Then you put your cheese on top of that, and then what you do is you grill it under this here. You slide it under, and you leave that melt. Is that it?
Yeah.
And
And
then-
on the top
and
you put
then-
some onion.
Yeah. And then you can put all this on. You can put like mushroom
And here,
on top here,
the
and you can
magic
fry it.
ingredient.
And then you've got
Potato.
your spuds.
Liquid cheese on potatoes.
Nice.
Can't beat it.
We've got the mushrooms and the onions on top, and what we got to do is
Just pour it.
pour this
over potatoes.
Oh, you got it.
Okay.
Look at that. This is proper Swiss style.
Look at that.
Okay. And get another one loaded up.
I went to see the mechanic today at 2 o'clock and I brought him down the video of the coolant in the accumulator and how low it was. He said because the coolant hadn't dropped all the way down to the minimum like it has been doing. He said we still have hope, so he said to top it back up to the maximum and then drive to where I have to drive to, let the engine cool completely and then check the coolant level. He said then you'll really know if the part has worked or not. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to top it back up with this coolant. Then we will drive to Freiburg, which is about 2.5 hours away, and fingers crossed it's going to be all okay. We've arrived in Freiburg and we parked up last night and I've let the engine cool down and now I've just checked it and it stayed at maximum. So the part has actually worked. The part he replaced has fixed the issue. It looks like it's fixed the issue. The coolant has stayed at maximum. So that part that he replaced has worked. Oh, I'm so happy that we didn't have to go near the engine. So what do you think, Ash?
We are delighted. Woohoo!
Yay!
Celebrate good times. Come on. Woo!
We are back on the road, Reen.
We're back in action.
Back in action.
It's been an emotional roller coaster the past 3 weeks, not knowing whether the van is going to make it or if we're going to have to do a massive job that will cost like thousands,
yeah.
which would put us into a really hard position.
The next day.
We were driving out of Hamburg and there was white smoke appearing out of the exhaust. The white smoke disappeared after about 10 minutes, so we decided to keep driving. 10 minutes later, a low coolant warning sign appeared on the dashboard. So I pulled over and I checked the coolant and it had dropped to minimum. I refilled the coolant back up and we continued to drive for a further 10 minutes until we heard a strange noise coming from the engine. So then we decided to pull into a nearby mechanic. He took a quick look at the engine and he said it could be the head gasket. He said he was fully booked and he rang around other local mechanics in the area to see if they had any availability. They were also fully booked, so we ended up having to travel to a local VW dealer in Kensingen in the south of Germany.
So after spending 4 days from Thursday to Monday waiting outside the garage for them to say whether or which they can fix it, they finally took the van in on Monday and we got ourselves into an Airbnb.
They did some tests and they confirmed it was the head gasket that was the issue, and they said they were able to fix it, but we couldn't stay in the van.
So they said that the van would take till Friday to get it fixed and that it would be €3,150 to fix. So we had to book ourselves into an Airbnb, which is where we are now.
We went into Freiburg today to get Reen his birthday present. He's 1 today, and on the way back out on the tram I got a phone call from the garage and straight away I was thinking to myself, oh no, and Aisling said the same thing.
I was just like, oh
she was
no.
like, why are they ringing so early?
It's only
Because they
Wednesday.
told us it was going to take like till Friday. So then I was thinking, oh my god, it's either a lot more work or they can't fix it.
Yeah,
So-
I was actually having visions of us like just getting the van towed back to Ireland.
Yeah.
I was like, oh right, this is what's happening now. But luckily they had good news for Richie that actually the van was already fixed and that we could collect it today if we wanted or tomorrow. And that it came in at a much lower cost of €2,400, which is best news ever.
Tomorrow morning I'll get up really early at around 7 and I will make my way to the garage. It's about an hour away. From Freiburg you get the train to Kensingen and then I will pick up the van, come back here, collect Aisling and Reen,
And the 2 dogs.
the 2 doggies, and then we will head to our next Airbnb because we're already booked in there, so we couldn't cancel it. Too late to cancel. So now it's time to celebrate Reen's birthday.
Happy birthday to Baba Rian. I picked out this lovely present in a toy shop inside Freiburg. Look at this. It's for a 1 year plus. And look, it's like, oh, look at this, Rian. You have your own hammer. We'll take that away because that's Daddy's toothbrush. And we'll give you your own hammer. Look, Rian. You love hammering things. And then inside of here, You have the yellow ball to go into there. So it's lovely, Montessori inspired. And then blue. And then red. And then green. So look, green. Look. We go like this. Oh, look, we hammer it in. Woo! And then it comes out. He likes it. Keep doing it there. Good boy. Okay, so instead of a cake, I saw this German lady doing this for her kids, and I thought, well, this is like a smaller version of that because we're in the van, and it's really cute for Rian. It'll be from now up till he'll be 10. So you put the age in this, and then you have the little figurine for Rian. For Blue as a boy, and then a little place for the candle holder for your birthday candle, and then for as he grows older, over the next 10 years, next 9 years.
Well, 20 years because you could put 2 and 0.
Yeah, but you're not going to do that for. He's going to be up till he's about 10. For as a child, you then put in 2 next year, and all the way up till 10.
Happy birthday to you. Hip hip.
Hooray!
Hip hip.
Hooray!
Blow it out, Reed.
Yay! Mummy, do it this year.
You're too small.
You're too small yet.
Next year you can blow it out yourself.
Yeah, when he's 2. I think next year I can actually put this on a cake because it's small enough.
That'd be cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Great. Good boy. Yay! I collected the van on Thursday morning, and then we stayed in that hotel on Friday night. The Airbnb was like a hotel guest house, and then the next morning we drove to this lovely park in Freiburg. It wasn't the head gasket after all. Once the mechanic got in and looked at the engine, he saw that it was the heat exchanger. So fingers crossed that was the issue. That meant it was €1,000 cheaper, 2,400 euros we had to spend to get it repaired.
We're going to spend a few days here in Freiburg, and we just right beside us a really lovely children's park which Rian adores. It's a sandpit, and we're meeting lots of German children and taking all their buckets and shovels, and there's also slides and swings and a lovely big field for the dogs to go walking, and
yeah,
there's actually crazy golf as well we might do before we leave as well.
You can actually see the Black Forest in the background of the park. So what we're going to do tomorrow is go on a hike. Then from here we're going to head north. I'm playing a few gigs close to Bremen, and then from Bremen I go to Hamburg, and then we go make our way up through Lübeck up to Copenhagen. So fingers crossed it's all going to be good and we can get up to Copenhagen.
The reason we've been so long with this vlog is because we've just been literally stressed to the maximum, and Richie had got sick when we actually arrived in the garage, and then he had to do a gig and he was sick, and then he got more sick. He got really bad inflamed throat, and just
I'm actually only getting better now, so
exhausted.
It's about a week and a half.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're hoping we'll have a vlog for you again next week, so it won't be as long. It won't be 2 weeks this time. And that's the update. It's been a long, stressful month.
Yeah, it's been crazy.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of the European tour, and if you did enjoy it,
hit that like button and notification bell to be the first to find out when the next video is out.
And also hit the subscribe button. That means you can follow. That means you can follow along with the journey. We will see you all on the next one.
Rian is mad to get to the stand, so
say bye bye from Freiburg, Rian.
say bye, Rian.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Say bye bye.